Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to this look that is so super unusual for Leorah. I realized that and I wanted to take you on the journey of me working with black. Black is on so many levels the scariest color for me in the whole world. In clothes, in makeup, in everything, I try to avoid black because for me black is, it's black, you know. I like to combine it with other colors, but just to do a black, super black smoked out look, I've never done that before and I struggled so bad. So I'm going to use, wait, let me just quickly show you the palettes. I'm going to use the Flamingo palette from Voss and I'm going to use the Rainbow palette from Voss. So this is one of my one brand looks that I love to do, and I'm also going to use a black glitter from Micellar, which I'm going to show you in the video also. And yeah, I'm sort of okay with how it turned out. It was hard. It was absolutely hard and you'll see it. And I also, in addition to that, it's obviously like a get ready with me kind of a situation. I want to talk to you about weight loss, weight gain, things like this. So if you're interested in that, seeing me, how I struggle through my journey in black and talking to you about a few thoughts that I have, you know, that I want to share with you, then please keep on watching. Okay, my sweet loves, we are gonna do a black look. And you obviously have seen how it turned out in the intro and I don't, so you are at a clear advantage. What we're gonna do today, and I showed you the palettes probably in the intro already, is we're going to work with the Flamingo palette, which looks like this from Voss. Like this. And we're gonna use probably the black, obviously, because it's going to be a black smoky eye, and the coral shade right here, which is a coral matte. Okay, and then I want to also use the Voss palette, the Rainbow palette from Voss, which looks like this, and this is a true gem. It's very messy because I've used that a lot, and I've never used the white and the black. So the white I don't want to use today, but I do so want to use the black. I have to show you this. You know that I'm not the biggest and best person for swatches, but I'm gonna have to show you this one. Does it show? It sparkles and it is so opaque, and that is really just one swipe. Let's, you know, I couldn't wrap my head around when I was trying to find the blacks that I wanted to use. When I saw this, I got super excited. So is this gonna be a very spectacular look? I have no idea. I have never done this. Not with black. I have done like super smoked out eyes, like a classic smoky eye that is in browns and in dark maroons and things like this, but not in black. Black is, if you ask me, a very dangerous color in clothes and in makeup and in everything. But anyway, we're gonna try to attempt this today and see what happens. All right, so you're here for the ride, and while let me just find the right brush so I can start doing something. First of all, I'm going to use the bone color right here, this one, and I'm going to just set the upper part here of my primer. And while I'm doing my makeup, I want to talk to you about something that I have been hinting at or suggested that I will talk about it quite a while now, or often during other videos, and that is my weight gain. So this is not a video about me apologizing that I got bigger, because I did. If you just go a few months back, I think you can see a total difference. But this is just like a life update, you know, telling you what has been going on. And yeah, so if you go back all the way to my very first videos, you will see that I was very extremely skinny, and that was not a good situation. I was actually health-wise in a very bad situation. And yes, I am super proud of the amount of weight loss that I achieved and all of that, and I'm super happy that I did it. I never regret it. Never, not a single day, and all the hard work that I put into it. But at some point it was very hard to stop, you know. And I shouldn't swatch any shades and then touch my face. Wait, let me just clean this up. Let me get a wet wipe. Anyway, so let me just clean this. Whoa, this is so pigmented, it sticks to everything. All right, while I was at it, I also cleaned up my arm from the swatch. And before we go back into the topic, I'm gonna go with a very fluffy brush like this one. And wait, my husband always tells me, hold it properly so people can see what you're doing. Wait till it focuses. I have no idea if it focuses. I think so. If not, then imagine a fluffy brush. All right, I'm gonna go in with the coral shade that I showed you before, this one, which is called Coral. And I basically want this to be just above the crease and sort of fluffed out, just like a hint of it, so the black goes somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like that it does not just stop in the black, but it is like there is something that it flows into. That's the plan. So let's see how we're doing. Okay, so I'm trying to just fluff this here a little bit above the crease and sort of blend it into the bone color shade, so we have a transition shade, basically, essentially. All right, so what I wanted to say is about the eating and the everything. Eating has been a very, very difficult thing for me ever since, like, my whole life, that's what I'm trying to say. My whole life, eating has been an issue, weight has been an issue, and I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it, you know? For example, it's so unfair because, for example, my sister, who is my sister? Same parents. She has no issue. Absolutely not. She was never overweight. When she gave birth, after a week, when she wore her old clothes from before pregnancy, and I'm just such a whale compared to her, you know? And I mean, not anymore, but my whole life I was the fat one in the family. And I don't think it comes as a surprise that that will lead any sane person into difficulties. Sorry, into difficulties in the sense of, you know, dieting, constant dieting and all of that, and then gaining weight and gaining more weight, and then feeling guilty and feeling like crap, and then again dieting and never getting anywhere. So I was super determined this time around, because I'm also not getting younger. It's not getting easier to lose weight the older you get. So I was very determined that this time it's gonna stick. This time I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm not going to let myself fail again. And I think I did go a little bit overboard, and it was at some point I was so scared that I would ever get fat again that I was actually in danger of, you know, going towards a very, very dangerous situation. So, what you don't know, and I'm not ashamed to say that, is that I have been in therapy for the last 1.5 years. Not the last couple months, but before that, for the last 1.5 years, in order to survive this, you know, and to start to have a healthy relationship with food and with my body, and you know, also setting an example for my children that is healthy and not crazy, you know what I mean? So I've been doing that, and as a result of that, I had to gain back a lot of weight. Not a lot, but it's like 10 kilos. I don't know what this is in pounds. It's maybe something like 15 pounds, or I don't know. So I went size-wise. I went from extra small or small, depending on the clothes or the cut of the clothes, to being medium, which for me is now, I feel huge. I absolutely feel huge. I do not necessarily feel confident, and I don't know if I ever will, because I'm super insecure about my body, you know, after all that has happened and everything I've been going through. And I'm sure a lot of women, probably like 90% of all women, totally relate to that, being insecure about their bodies. And also it doesn't help in that moment to say, you're fine, whatever, you look so good, don't you see it? No, you know, it doesn't help. And honestly, the whole modeling thing was helpful in one in one sense, that I could see myself on the modeling pictures and actually see what other people see. Because when I was standing there modeling, I thought, why, like I should be modeling for extra large sizes, because why would anyone look at me, you know, even though I was modeling for the small sizes, but my awareness of my body was absolutely not there. So when I looked at the modeling pictures, then I actually saw that I was wearing small sizes. So that was good. On the other hand, it was always a challenge, always this fear that is sitting like in your neck, that don't get fat. Don't get fat, because then you're going to lose this. You're going to lose this. Nobody's going to want you to model anymore, whatever. All of these things, you know. So it always comes, of course, with like two sides of the coin, you know. Okay, I think this is more or less what I'm going to do here. This is so gentle and so, I don't know if I can live with this. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do, next thing, I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller, like a crease brush, and I'm going to use the black matte in this palette, and I'm going to put that in the crease. I'm going to put that in the crease, and then on the lid itself, I'm going to take that sparkly black from the rainbow palette, and I also have some black glitter that I want to try, that I want to put on top of that. So we're going all in. Okay, so let's just see how we can deal with the black. It's very scary. Very. All right, so back to the topic. You mustn't forget also that there is the whole aspect of social media. You know, this whole thing, when I started my fashion blog, I literally have black all over my desk right now. You know, once I started my fashion blog and started to upload pictures, and then suddenly model agencies start to see you, you know, which is super flattering, but that is also scary, you know. It is super scary. And then suddenly agencies from all over the world contacted me. There were at some points like 8 agencies that contacted me and asked me to send in my portfolio and all of that. And my youngest was just 1 year old. There was no way, because it was not a local one, not a single local one. It was just like Madrid and London, and even in Australia there was one, and in America there were like 2 or 3 in Los Angeles. There was one in New York, and of course I wouldn't have never been like a supermodel or anything. I'm not that kind, but the interest on them wanting me to be in their library, sort of, you know, that was super flattering. And I thought, how can I do this? But of course I cannot. You know, I could never go to a photo shoot or something, because I'm on the other side of the world, and I have 7 kids, and the youngest is just 1 year old. So that looks horrible. That looks absolutely horrible. Oh my goodness. All right, told you this is gonna be scary. I need coffee. Anyway, so it was a bit of a downward spiral, this whole experience. I don't know, this whole time of my life, which was something like 2 years, or let's say 1.5 years, was really scary. And I sort of started to lose myself in all of this. And if you are on a weight loss train, which is, I'm all for it, because I'm very into eating healthy and being healthy and treating your body like you're the queen, you know, because you do have a responsibility, and you cannot just, you know, eat whatever comes in front of you. But I hate this so much. I hate this so much. But I want to try it. I want to. So let's just go with it. And worst case, I'm just not gonna leave the house today. Alright. I think I'm gonna do more with that coral shade and just try to blend it out a little bit more. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's try that. There is a fly here. Why? So I felt like I cannot stop myself, you know. It was really hard for me to find a balance, and without help I could not find it. it was too hard. You know, I was too scared. Everything scared me. And the second something said snug, like clothes said snug around my body, I felt, no, that I'm too fat. Even though I was wearing one size larger than one of my girls, you know, and she was back then 7 years old. So that is crazy. But you see how a mind can twist its way through life. It's really, really crazy. Anyway, so I'm just sharing this because maybe I hope that someone finds this helpful on their own weight loss journey, or wherever you are in life, or if nothing else, then just to know me better. So anyway, what really the topic is why I had to gain weight, because I was just too thin. And let me tell you, when your bodily functions don't work anymore, like your period and things like this, then that is a clear sign of something being super, super wrong, and you got to put the brakes on, you know. So yeah, so that's what I had to do, and I knew that I couldn't do it by myself. This is also, and I've spoken in my mental health videos about that aspect too, that I started to get panic attacks and things like this. This is also that time in my life when I started to get panic attacks, and that was it was super scary. I felt like everything is falling apart. I'm losing control of everything. I'm still trying to blend the black and I'm not succeeding. This is such a stupid look. I don't know. Can anyone save this look? Maybe I should not have set my primer. I don't know. But I wanted this to be, you know, fluffed out. Let's see. Worst case, it's gonna be no makeup today and I'm just gonna take it off. But I wanted to try this, so it looks like a piece of... Alright, so this is honest, because this is what happens to me too. Terrible. Alright, maybe I should use a darker shade. Maybe I'm gonna try, this is gonna be so messy, I'm gonna try to use, wait, this one, the watermelon shade, which is a little bit darker than the coral shade. So I'm just gonna pull that one in and see if that helps. Probably not. So I've been blending. I've been trying. So I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I feel like the more I do, the worse it gets. And I don't think it's the fault of the palette. It's just that I'm so scared of working with blacks, and I think I have to do it more, you know, maybe not in that fashion, but just get a little bit more acquainted with blacks. Anyway, so that is what I did. And now I'm going to go in and put this black that I showed you before. I'm going to pack this on with a very, like a tight packing brush, and see what happens then. It cannot possibly get worse, so let's just go in and do this. I mean, wow, the pigmentation is amazing. And let's just see, the fallout is also amazing. Alright, I hope that this look is gonna come together. I just hope so, because wow, this is dark. I look like Maleficent or like Cruella or something. Anyway, so let's go back to talking about the weight. Yeah, so I basically, through my therapy, I had to stop weighing myself. I had to stop writing down what I'm eating. I had to stop being obsessive, and that is very scary for someone who is, you know, if you're obsessive about something and it's suddenly being ripped out of your hands, basically, that is a very, very scary situation. But I knew that I needed to face it. I needed to go there and let myself enter this scary space in order to live. So yeah, so I stopped weighing myself, and slowly I gained weight, but not by eating pizza or something like this. I gained weight by eating healthy. And I essentially ate the exact same things that were my comfort foods before, like raw vegetables and whatever, but I let myself have more calories. I did not eat exclusively 1% fat cheese anymore. I gave myself 5% fat cheese, or once a day. Or I ate some nuts or things like this, you know? So that is very scary in the sense of, you know, if you have abandoned or if you have cut out so many things out of your life in order to achieve your goal, and suddenly you have to let some of it back in, that is a very scary situation. Because or at least for me, I always feel I'm so scared that I'm going to lose control and that I'm going to binge on that thing that that I missed so much, you know. So slowly, over probably like a year and a half, or maybe a little bit more than a year, I gained that weight, and now I'm actually at a state where I think I am okay, or what I'm supposed to be, and everything is working and everything is, you know, nothing, I don't feel like I depleted myself. Though I think I could like lose a kilo or two, that would be good. But anyway, how does this look now? Huh? Okay, sensational. The fallout is horrendous. I look so bad. Should I zoom you in and just show you? Do you see the fallout? It's really bad. Anyway, I can clean that up. It's no problem. I just have to figure out how to zoom you back out. Anyway, so that's what it is, you know. That's what has been happening, and I don't go to therapy anymore. I feel like I can handle the situation myself now, and not weigh myself all the time, and not obsess about food all the time, but still eat healthy. So that's what it is, you know. I have to clean this up. I'll be right back. Alright, I cleaned up and I put on my foundation and my contouring and all of that, and I think honestly that even though it is very unusual, this look I have to keep looking in the mirror just I can't believe the way I look. I do think that it is not bad though. You know, I mean, the blending was very, very, very hard, but anyway, it is a nice experiment. I also put on the glitter that I told you that I would put on. I pulled in my false lashes already. And I think I have to do something about the lower lash line, and I actually want to do something different there. It would be so easy to just smoke it out with black, but the other day I saw online a picture where someone used a shimmer shade on the lower lash line, and I thought, even though I never thought that is possible, I thought that looked so great. So I want to keep doing that and you know, try that out and see how that works for me. Wait, I took off all my jewelry because of putting on the foundation. Let me just put that back on. All right, so we've been talking about the weight loss and the weight gain and all of that, and where am I? I just want to encourage you, if you're going through something like this, and it is hard, yes, it is hard, I highly recommend doing the weight loss part, but try not to fall into that same hole as I did, because that is so dangerous. It is so dangerous, and it is so hard to dig yourself out of this. So now, will I ever be okay? I hope so. I don't know, and it freaks me out like you would not believe, to not know if I will ever have a normal relationship to my body, or will I have ever a normal relationship to food? Will it always be an enemy? You know, I have no idea. So you can feel free to pray for me. All right, I want to put actually this shade here, Seafoam, on my lower lash line. Yeah, that's the plan, because it sort of resembles the flowers in my shirt, which you will see once I zoom out. So I want to do that, and I know all of these shadows in that rainbow palette here have terrible fallout all the time. So I'm just gonna put that shade on a pencil brush and spray the brush. And the fallout even now, even on my foundation, is like, ugh. This is not the best look. Not the best look. All right, we're trying new things today. Okay, let's just Let's just agree on that. Anyway, so yeah, I just try to be true here on my channel and just share whatever I'm going through, because I truly believe that people appreciate me being real and just talking about the things the way they are, or the things how I feel them. And I hope that that always ends up helping someone, you know. And I'm really spraying my brush a lot. I'm super scared that this is gonna crumble on me. It sort of lightens up the look. I just have to blend it out once the setting spray dries up a little bit, because right now, of course, I cannot blend this. But in general, I do think it is a nice touch because it lightens the look. So, because this is so heavy, it's like, what happened? What happened to me here? All right. So I really hope that that all of this makes any sense to any one of you. And I really want to encourage you, if you have any problem, not even related to weight loss or weight gain or whatever, but anything that needs therapy, go and get help. Go and get help. I'm a very proud person. I'm very insecure, but I'm very proud. And I come from a family where weakness is not an option. And that has killed me half of my life, because I cannot be weak and I always have to push myself. I always have to achieve everything, and I always have to be the best in everything. So that's why I almost freaked out when I started to do this look, and it was so bad that I thought, this is not, you know, I cannot do this. I cannot do this, because if I'm not succeeding, then what am I, you know? There are other people, other beauty YouTubers who can, like, maybe not on the millions level, but on the, I don't know, 5,000 or 10,000 or 15,000 or whatever thousand followers level, who say, okay, so this is not my best look, whatever, you know. I personally freak out. Like, I cannot have that, you know. So that's why failing is not an option, you know. I'm trying to not be like this, but it is very hard if this has been ingrained into you your whole life, that you know, you just gotta have to try harder, or you have to feel less. And it's terrible. It is really terrible, and I don't want to throw any shame here on my parents. It's not really their fault, and they were loving and everything, but you know, they have been raised the same way, so they didn't know anything differently. So that's just, you know, that's just how it is. The problem gets passed on from generation to generation, and I personally want to just break this cycle. I want my children to know that it is okay to not be perfect, and that we always have to, yes, we do have to work on ourselves, and we have to try to do our best to honor our bodies and be queens or kings or whatever, but not go crazy in the sense of being self-destructive like I was. And that is basically what it is. So I'm just going to quickly finish off, and then I'm going to come back with the final look. Okay, my loves, welcome to the finished look. I think considering what a struggle it was, I think we're looking okay. We can go outside like this and not be completely embarrassed, but it was really hard. Let me just zoom you out so we see a little bit more of this. So now you can also see maybe the green that I have here in my top, that is sort of a little bit picking up this green here, even though I'm aware of the fact that this is way more bright and of course shiny, and this is a little bit more murky, but it's sort of in the same direction. So yeah, I think we did okay. I did of course use this palette here. This is a super crumbly palette. I love the colors, but they are hard to work with, if you ask me. I'm struggling with this palette, and you see that it is super messy, because, and it's not because I'm a messy worker, it's just because the shadows are like this, apparently, at least in this one. If you have this palette and you have a different experience, then please let me know. Maybe it is something that I'm doing wrong, but anyway, so we used obviously the black from this one and also that shade Seafoam, and I love both of them. The opacity is absolutely phenomenal, but if you do your foundation before, I think you might be lost. I would not ever recommend doing that. Actually, with yeah, with both of those palettes, also with the Violet Voss Flamingo palette, because also that black had a lot of fallout. So yeah, so from this palette we used the black, obviously, then the bone color shade, the coral shade, and the watermelon, the one that is called watermelon. I think overall, oh wait, another one, I used the shade Seashell, which is a baby pink shimmer shade that I used in the inner corner as an inner corner highlight. I think overall the palettes are good. It's just that it's a different kind of work, like a different kind of way to work with them than for like with my other things. But I do want to use what I have, and I also, as you probably know, if you're not new here, then you know that I love to do one brand looks, and so I pulled this out of my collection. These are the only things that I have from Violet Voss, and I love the shadows in there, and that's why I want to use them. I think that just makes sense. All right, for a highlighter, I used the Jade Everglow Holographic Eyeliner Palette, and I used, did I say eyeliner? I meant highlighter. All right, I used, which shade did I use? This one, the shade that is called Halo, which is, it looks golden, but it has like a purple kind of a shift. This one, and then for blush, I used the Morphe Cool Pro palette, which is this one. And I used this shade right here because, again, I thought it would pick up nicely with the shadows that I sort of fluffed out the black with, and also what I have in my shirt, like this darker, murkier kind of a pink. I really don't know describing colors, as you know. All right, in my waterline I used a black. This is also the same one that I used to tightline my upper waterline, which is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Black Fever. I always use that for tightlining my upper lash line. And then the whole contouring and all of that, I did my regular thing. You'll find that in the description box. And then for my lips, I used this very simple lippy that doesn't draw any attention to it, which is nice with an eye look like this. I think it looks like this. And it's the number 003 from Zaccara. They only have numbers, so yeah. The glitter is also from Zaccara. I don't think you can see this really well. It is like a black glitter, and the glitter particles themselves are like multicolored. They're like green and blue, and yeah, but the base of it is black. And I don't know if it really comes across. It's very, very finely milled. It's not big specks of glitter, so that is actually nice. But I have a lot of fallout from that too, even though I did use the NYX glitter glue, and that usually works really, really well for me. But I think today was just fallout day. When I was off camera and I tried to do the contouring and everything got muddy because there was black everywhere, even though I had cleaned my face before starting to do the foundation here and everything. Like my desk, everything is full of black. The black in both of the palettes and also the black glitter, everything is everywhere. So that was an experience that I don't need for at least another 3 months. But I hope you enjoyed, because, you know, it was more like a get ready with me. This was definitely not a tutorial, because I cannot claim that I know the first thing about working with black, and that is the reason why I'm trying to do this, because I want to learn, because black really is hard. It's hard. It's not an easy color to work with. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope, if you cannot take anything away from this video, then just, you know, getting to know me a little bit better, then maybe I hope that was good enough. And if not, if you're actually in a situation where you're struggling with weight issues, with weight loss, with eating disorders, things like this, you're here at the right address with me, because I'm in there, and I've been through a lot when it comes to that, and I'm sure I will be speaking more about that topic as the time goes on, because it's a topic that is very dear to my heart. And I've actually been giving lectures also about things like this in like women support groups. So yeah, so I hope that was helpful, and I hope you come back next time. And if you're new here, then please feel free to subscribe. And besides that, go ahead and sparkle. And if you need help to sparkle, then go and get yourself some help so you can sparkle, okay? All right, so I'll see you here next time, and up until then, hugs and kisses. Bye.